Ladies and gentlemen, this is Joe's Classic Video Games, back with another cool arcade game repair video for you this evening. This time we have Popeye by Nintendo. This is our buddy Trevor's machine. He actually just picked this up yesterday. I think he went to Virginia or somewhere to get it. I wasn't here when he dropped it off. But I kind of already know what's wrong with it. He told me what was wrong with it. It's broke. Now, before I even get started, I kind of want to address a couple things on my last video with the Shadow pinball machine. The comments, a lot of the comments, I kind of want to address. You guys didn't get the whole story. A lot of people are like, well, you shouldn't have took the job if you didn't want the job. He's paying you money. Da, da, da. He's, da, da, da. You didn't get the whole story. But basically, the guy called me. He wanted me to clean and shop that pinball machine. And I told him I didn't really do that. We mainly do more repair work. We're a repair shop. But he couldn't find anybody else to work on it. And he said it really needed shopped real bad. So, against my better judgment, I went ahead and told him that I would do that, even though it was a DMD machine, which is not usually what we mess with. Okay? I thought he had one machine. And the way he was talking, it was like a 6 or a 7, and he wanted me to clean it up and make it an 8. Everybody knows I make them an 8. So he brings it down. The guy lives an hour away, and I told him I'd already do it, on the phone. So he brings it down. Remember, this is a 350-pound pinball machine. He's already got it in his truck. He brings it down. We unload it. We bring it in the store. And then I find out that the thing's already a 9. So, I make him an 8. He already brought me a 9. So, that's not really what I do. And then he added all this stuff. He wanted brand new this, brand new that, all this. He wanted new screws and and this and that and the other. And the guy had 30 pinball machines, he said. And he used to have a guy that did all that type of work for him, but the guy stopped calling him back. Long story short, the guy was a real jerk. And that's why the other guy wouldn't call him back, the guy he used to get to clean the pinball machines. So that's kind of the story. And I really wasn't mad. I was just kind of frustrated with myself that I even got myself in that situation. I'd already had the machine in the store, and then he adds all this stuff he wants done. I could tell the machine was already a 9. And it just sucks working on something and that the guy's not going to be happy with it at the end. And people were saying, well, you should be proud of your work. Well, I'm very proud of my work. I thought it turned out amazing. I thought it looked brand new. Other than the cabinet itself had some water damage. But the playfield area that I did, I thought it looked brand new. And of course, he gets here and it took him 2 hours to pick it up. He played the thing for 2 hours in my store, and everybody's like, oh, he's a paying customer. Well, that's all fine and well. He did pay me, but, I'd much rather work on something like this. It took twice as long as it should have. The thing was already a 9, so I like taking them from like a 6 to an 8, That's just that. And a lot of times I say it's an 8. But in reality, sometimes they turn out to be a 9. But I tell everybody an 8 anyway, just so everybody's happy. In my opinion, a 10 does not exist unless it just rolled off the factory showroom floor, brand new. It's a 10. But a week later, it is no longer a 10. I'm sure it's already got scuffs and stuff on it. All that to say, I was kind of using the wrong word too. I kept saying picky in the video. Well, I'm picky about a few things too. I'm sure everybody's picky about a few things, but that guy was a real jerk. And it just sucked doing that job. But I did it. I didn't want to. I'd already told the guy I'd do it over the phone, and I keep my word, you know. So I cleaned it and did everything that I said I was going to do. I feel like that would have been pretty crappy if the guy drove down here an hour and, you know, I told him I didn't want to do the job. I'd already committed to do the job on the phone without seeing it. And that was kind of my mistake, really. I try to do a good job of weeding out the customers I don't want. And every year there's always one or two jobs that kind of trickle in that, you know, I kind of wish I never would have got involved with. Okay. And the people who say, you know, the customer is always right have never ran a business. That's just the way it is. Some customers you just don't want. I know that sounds crazy, but some customers you just don't want. Anyway, back to the Popeye. He picked this up in Virginia yesterday. I really don't know what's wrong with it. I thought he said something about a cat kid. He talked to Ronnie. All I know is he wants me to rebuild the monitor. I don't know if it works or not. So let's take off the back door. We'll plug it in and we'll see how it goes. They make a few different types of these Nintendo cabinets too. They make a plywood one, and then they make a particle board one. And this one is the particle board one. And the particle board ones, they always get chipped up around the edges. They're just not quite as made quite as well on the sides anyway. You don't see flathead screws much anymore. Nobody really uses those. And look what they got going on with the marquee light. Come on now. Are you kidding me? That don't look like it's doing anything. Let's try this one. This one's coming up. That one's stripped, or is it gonna? Kind of need two hands. I should probably be pulling on it at the same time. People are always impressed with my one-handed abilities here. Maybe I can pull it now. Just think about that. And I'm right-handed, so this is, all right, there we go. Yeah, buddy. Look at this crap. And then you can't really even take off the back door. What is going on here? That had to go. Oh, I guess they came through the other end. Can't even take off the back door, really. All right. So, we've got our original Sanyo monitor. We've got our original Nintendo power supply. I imagine the board is in there. Yeah, it's in there. Power cord looks pretty good. We've got our brand new end on the cord here. Dollar store special. Let's see if it'll do anything. Got it plugged in. Let's hit the switch. I heard a snap and a crackle. Oh, I hear it. Well, it appears to be working. But the monitor doesn't look all that great. That's basically a classic cap kit problem. Basically, it's got all these capacitors in there, and they dry out over time. And then you'll start having these issues. It'll be all smeary and washed out looking. But it is up and running, so it looks like our board is good and our power supply is good. So we basically just got to worry about the monitor at this point. He got me some T-molding here, looks like. I wonder if this is the right kind though. This may be the, yeah, see, this is the offset. See how the right side is thinner than the left side? This takes a special T-molding, but we'll see what he got here. I bet it's the regular kind. Yep, it's the regular kind. If you put this in there, just to show you what I'm talking about. That would look like crap. Because then this is for the plywood cabinet. The particle board cabinet is offset. Don't ask me why they did that, I don't know. Century games like Gyrus and stuff has offset T-molding also. But this is the wrong T-molding. And I don't know if anybody makes that offset T-molding. What I usually do is I just put a little bit of wider T-molding on there, and it'll hang off this side just slightly, but it'll look better than the alternative. How's that sound? All right, so I guess we're gonna start taking that monitor out. What you think? So on a Nintendo cabinet, it's got this little wing nut here. Loosen that baby, slide this back. It's already slid back, but you slide it back like that. And you're supposed to be able to lift up on this, but somebody's got this channel on backwards. They always do that. It's supposed to be the other way. Let me get a, let's see if this will do it. Didn't think I was gonna do it, did you? First shot. See how that's got a lip on it? That's actually supposed to be on the front, so you can lift up on it. Just like a pinball back glass would be. So now we got that out of there. And to get the monitor out, there's 2 screws on this side. And there'll be 2 more over here. And the power comes down and it plugs in right here. One of those is for the marquee. We're gonna have to tie in this. We'll cut this wire and tie it into the marquee wiring, which is this white one here. Won't be no big deal. And then we've got the little sound connector, video connector, speaker connector. And once we unravel all this power wire going down here, all we got to do is take those 4 screws off on the front, and we'll be able to take this whole monitor out the front side. Okay, let's do that. All right. screw. Two screw. Three screw. Four screw. Then what's very important is you don't lift with your knees. You lift with your back in an awkward, twisty, jerking motion, okay? And we're out. There she is. So now I'm gonna go get my screwdriver and a pair of little snips and we'll take it all out. All right, so I took the monitor board out of the frame. You're not gonna believe this. I had a whole long video, step by step, of how to take this out of the frame. I thought I was doing a good job too. I had a nice little clip of me discharging the anode, telling you exactly how to take it out of the frame, unscrew this wire, unhook this wire, fish this through the frame, yada, yada, yada. I thought it was great. I had my tripod all set up real pretty down on the floor, showing you from this angle. Then I moved it over here to this angle. Then I was showing you about the little clips that hold the board in. I thought it was going to be great. Went to watch the video back, and somehow I had my camera set on slow motion. So there went that. But I got the monitor out, and now we're going to change all these capacitors one by one. How loosey-goosey this one is. Yeah, that one wasn't even connected, I don't think. See it? But anyway, take the cap out one at a time. Find what value it is over here. This is my little cap drawer. I've got one, I say UF. 1 UF, 2 UF, 3 UF, 4.7, 10, you know, all the way down to 2200. All different sizes. And some people always wondered why Ronnie always says microfarad, real weird like that, is because we had people always saying that was the correct way to say it. We say UF, but all the other people online call them microfarad. Now I want you guys to look at this capacitor and see what that says after the 2200. That sure looks like a U and an F to me. And every cap has that written on it. So I've always just say 2200 UF, 10 UF, 2.2 UF. That's just the way I've always done it. But all the people online that have probably never capped a monitor in their life insists, because they've seen somebody else do stuff, that it's microfarad. Okay, so that's the story behind that. So anyway, go ahead and cap all this and we'll put it back in there. All right, I got all the caps changed. Check this one out. This was C471, and it basically fell out in my hand. The positive lead disintegrated. But I got all the capacitors changed. We're going to put it back in the monitor frame. And we're also going to do the sound amp. If you've got one of these Sanyo monitors and you're rebuilding it and change the capacitors, make sure you change the caps on the sound amp because it's time. It's over 40 years old. The sound seemed like it was working okay on that POPEYE, but it's just a ticking time bomb. You need to take that sound amp out of there, change those caps while you're at it. All right. So here's the sound amp. I'm going to go ahead and take it out and get it out of the way. Just need to change all those capacitors on there. I'll do that in a few minutes. And then you fish the power wire back through, like so. Try not to knock over your drink. You put the neck board up in there, get it kind of out of the way. Hook your yoke wires up out of the way. Lots of wires, you kind of got to fish in there. And then I always put the left corner in. There's a little notch that's got to sit in. And then you try to line up all of your little stand up things. I've got it all tangled up right now, of course, because I'm recording it. There we go. All right, and you line it up. Make sure it's on the little tabbies. Push down until it snaps in there. Wham, bam. And I'm gonna go ahead and hook up my anode. If you didn't see that shadow pinball video I was talking about, it got a lot of views. It's a shame that you have to, I will admit we blew it a little bit out of proportion on purpose to get more views. I'm just gonna come clean. It wasn't quite as big of a deal as it sounded. But unfortunately, if you put a negative twist on something, you get more views. You know, that's just how it goes. Like if you watch that video where the cop showed up when I was trying to buy some arcade games, it got a heck of a lot more views than anything else. Put my neck board on. I'm gonna hook up my yoke. If I can see. There we go. I'll hook up my ground screw here. Push the wires back through, try to get them looking pretty again. And there's usually a screw on the bottom of the chassis also, right here in the back corner, right by the flyback. Don't forget your ground wire for the neck board. There's a little hole in the neck board you have to loop it through. I guess you don't have to, but that's the way it was from the factory. Try to get your wires in little holders so they look all nice and pretty. And I like to run my power wire behind this post so it doesn't get over here and mess with these knobs. Hook in your degauge ring. And there's these little clips that's supposed to slide in these pins here to make sure the board don't fall out. Not that it really can. There you go. So we're basically all hooked back up. We got to cap this sound amp, and then we'll put that back in. And make sure you hook these up right. This is called JB, and there's a JC. JC. And you gotta make sure you plug JC into the right connector. You can actually get these reversed, and it'll cause you all kinds of problems. I've never had that issue because to me, it's kind of hard to plug them in backwards, but apparently people plug them in backwards all the time. And it messes up all the sound on the game board. It'll fry your sound, basically, if you plug this in backwards on the game board itself. So I'm gonna go cap this. I'm gonna come back, hook it all back in, and then we're gonna put it back in the machine, and hopefully we've got a better looking Popeye. All right, we're ready to put the monitor back in. Remember to lift with your back. All right, are we confident enough to just go ahead and screw it in before we even try it? It would probably be the smart thing to test it first. But I'm not going to do that. Put the screws back in. La-dee-dee-dee. La-dee-da. All right, all 4 screws are in. Let's carry you guys around to the back. I'm gonna get you set up here. We're going down. I'm gonna tilt a little bit. Just think about that. All right, so then we'll get the power unraveled. We throw that down in the bottom like so. And we fish our video out. gonna snap it back into this Molex connector like so. Can't go that way, you're over there. Then we're gonna get this little sound connector here. Get my T-molding out of the way. I like this live action here. All right. I should have left that on the board, but oh well. Snap that in there, so now I can plug this baby in here. Boom. All right, so then I like to do a once over. I like to make sure I've got my yoke plugged in. I've got my ground plugged in. I've got my anode plugged in. I got my video plugged in. And I forgot to plug in the speaker here. Typically you don't have the speaker hooked up to the monitor, but on a Nintendo you do. Now we're going to plug the monitor in. We're going to turn the game on. What happened? I think the game might have already been on. What did you guys do? There was a bad connection down there on the cord. Scared me a little bit. I was thinking, uh-oh, I'm gonna look like an idiot. Not that that's anything new. Boom shakalaka. Go up a little bit so you guys can see. Might back out a little bit. Yeah, there you go. Well, that's done. Now what? Give me the money. Put the money in my hand. See, this is the type of repairs that I like to do. Today's actually Sunday. I'm supposed to be off today. But, you know, this is almost relaxing to me to come in and get this monitor going. Gets me ahead of the game for the week. Now I can call Trevor, tell him to bring me my money. It's a little too bright. Let's see here. What'd that do? That get it bright? That lower it? I'll get my mirror probably. That'll probably work. I'm not really sure what's going on with that marquee light because it's not plugged in. I mean, the marquee light's plugged in, the original one, but they've got some kind of wire hanging out the back. I wonder what's going on in here. Everything seems to be fine. Somebody's added another LED light fixture that I don't even think it needs. I'm gonna take that out of there. Trevor, I'm taking it out. I mean, it's got the original setup in there. There's no need for this little Chinese piece of junk here. Okay? That's how it's gonna be. Unplug it here and pull it through. That was extra, we didn't need that. Put the screws back in. Doot, doot. Well, we fixed the marquee, we fixed the monitor. I guess I'll get a little Windex, wipe it down a little bit. I don't know if it's coming up on camera, but the monitor jumps up and down just ever so slightly. Believe it or not, every Nintendo monitor does that after you cap it. That's just how it is. Nothing I can do about it. Not a big deal. Let's see if I can swap the bracket on that monitor bezel. It's on there pretty good. Ooh, let's see. I'm basically trying to get this bracket off so I can turn it around another way. Without breaking the plexiglass. Well, that didn't work. So we're gonna have to heat it up with a heat gun. I already got my bezel on there, starting to look pretty good. I got the bracket swapped around, obviously. Got it on there. Now it's T-molding time. T-molding time in the auction barn. We used to go to auctions all the time. And they'd have these grab bags. And every time they sold grab bags, grab bag time. Grab bag time in the auction barn. T-molding time in the auction barn. Wham bam, here we go. Isn't it exciting? Whoop, there's that. Did anybody see? Oh, there we go. I was about to say, who took my razor blade? Sometimes you have to glue this in. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully it'll just go in like it's supposed to. So far, so good. And you take your razor blade and you got to cut the barb off the back of it around your corners. And I always see you pound it in with the mallet. Cut the barb off again around that corner. barb off about there. That's one side. You kind of roll it under and make it look real pretty. And just to make it a little complicated, it doesn't really matter to me, but the control panel takes the regular T-molding. Just enough to make, you have to order two different types. Take that off. Top of the line. Didn't really like that part. Perfect. Perfect, people. Perfect. Pick up some of my mess here. Well, it looks pretty good. That's why I put a new sticker on there already. All right, we'll have a look. Have a look, see. Looks pretty good. It's Nintendo, they make some of the best cabinets. Donkey Kong Jr., Popeye, Play Choice, all that good stuff. T-molding always really sets them off. You may be asking yourself, well, Joe, what's going on with that blue back there? Well, obviously, somebody was trying to hide some of the chips on the back. But Trevor's actually pretty good at painting. He's an artist, you might say. And I'm going to leave that for him to do. I think he can get it good. He can probably do a better job at it than I can, actually. I mean, I don't know what they were thinking, though. The color match wasn't even close. Come on now. But once he gets that cleaned up, it's be a pretty nice machine. Look at that monitor. Look how nice. Look how bright. Look how vivid. Look at the colors. I'm going to leave that novelty vending on there. He may actually want that on there. Niagara Falls, New York. Doesn't have a area code on it either. But let's see if we can play a game. See if everything works on it, the buttons and such. All right, let's see what we did with these here. I'm not even good at Popeye, so, you know, don't expect too much. I'm the repairman. I'm not the player. People always think you're supposed to be really good at arcade games if you work on arcade games, but me and Ronnie enjoy fixing them. We don't really enjoy playing them that much. I don't know. It's more fun to me to fix it, if that makes any sense. Oh, come on. I thought he was going to go over and then I was going to hit the punching bag. I don't really even remember how to play. Thought I was just trying to get the hearts. That didn't work. I think I'm trying to get him trapped. But he's got to be in just the right spot. Totally missed that. And I ran out of time. Olive Oil's mad at me. Oh yeah, I forgot I can go this way. Okay, I see. Right into... Is it Brutus? He's got two names, Brutus and what was the other one? I guess I try to trap him. This is pretty pathetic so far. How sad is that? I couldn't even get past the first level. I played this game a year or so ago, and I got to the third or fourth board. But now I don't even remember how to do it. Do the hearts give me more time? Come on, I missed it. Gonna hit him now. Bam! Trevor's probably real good at it. Missed it again. I think I should have just ended the video before I even did the gameplay. Yep, definitely should have ended the video before I did the gameplay. I'd like to beat the first board. Dang it. Missed him. I just get all the hearts? Is that the whole point? All you gotta do is get the hearts. I've been trying to get him trapped. That was bad. All right, let's see if I can do better now that I know that I'm not even supposed to be trapping him. It's a lot easier when you know how to play, when you realize the whole point of the game, I guess. Hold on. Pitiful. Pitiful. Seems to be working good though. I'm not any good at it, but everything is working. Oh no. Woo, almost made it. Game over, probably. Yep. Well, anyway, got it finished up. Got it off the to-do list. Wham, bam, there we go. Gonna make that money. I'm all about making that money. Turned out pretty good. I like these Nintendo cabinets. Worked on a bunch of those Sanyo monitors. But anyway, thanks everybody for watching. We appreciate it. And thanks everybody that's been using our Amazon links. I haven't mentioned that in a while, but if you don't know about that, there's a link down below this video. If you hit the description button, there's an Amazon link there. And if you click that link before you buy anything on Amazon, it actually gives us a tip for sending you there, and it doesn't cost you any more. So if you buy something on there for $20, it still costs you $20, but Amazon gives us 50 cents or something like that for sending you there, which doesn't sound like that much, but at the end of the month, it actually adds up to quite a bit. And some people have it bookmarked. And, you know, lots of people order tons of stuff on Amazon, especially this time of year around Christmas. So we appreciate everybody that's been doing that. And we've also got a Patreon channel now that people have been subscribing to. So that really helps us too. And thank you for everybody that's been doing that. We had somebody visit last week that's a Patreon supporter, and that was pretty cool. But anyway, thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you on the next